9 o'clock. Start.
All right.
Oh, yeah. $1,800 balls.
All right, we're ready.
Let's go. All right, hey guys, we're ready to start. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We ready?
Ready.
Good morning. And I want to remind everybody, as we said in the email, this is going to be a little bit of an informal, casual meeting this summer, doing the PowerPoints that Joe puts together for us and everybody contributing. Takes a lot of time and effort, and the reality of it is I think you guys just want to know a couple of things about maybe roads and possibly the lake. I don't know if we'll have any conversation about the lake at all later, but we're prepared.
That's a joke.
That was a joke, correct.
That's good because we got questions.
Good.
I appreciate that, Bubba. We're gonna. Joe's not here to talk about finances, unfortunately, but we are gonna post the May results. I don't know if you posted them yet, the June results. We approved yesterday in the meeting, so we'll get those posted shortly. And I can ask any questions or try to answer any questions you've got. But if you have specific questions, just email Joe or email Michelle in the office and she'll get them to Joe and we'll talk about them. The upshot of it is we're running favorable to budget in all areas except for road maintenance. Part of the problem with road maintenance is we thought we were going to get started earlier on the road project and we didn't, so we've had to spend money to fix some of the gigantic craters in the roads that we weren't planning on. The winter sucked for us. We bought a lot more salt than we have in the past years because it was the weather, and a lot more gravel to fill the roads. Let me find my note here so I don't speak incorrectly. We've collected 96% of our dues for the year, which is actually running ahead of where we normally do. And on the road construction, we've collected $620,000 through about a week ago, and I think we've got some more in against the project, so we're going good on that. And again, if you've got any specific questions, I'll try to answer them, but more than likely I'm going to tell you to email the office, and Joe will be glad to respond to you. The roads. Anybody have any questions on the finances?
Just how many people or what percentage of the people have not paid for the roads?
For roads,
64 have not paid anything.
64 total.
64 total. We've got roughly 57 that are behind, that are choosing to make the monthly payments, and they're slightly behind on that. So we're really concerned about the 64. We projected to be about 10%, which is about 100 people, so we're actually doing better than what
So
anticipated.
57 that are behind are not figured in that 64?
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah,
And they could be behind by $5, $10, $20, whatever.
And the other thing that was a pleasant surprise is we were all expecting to get a bunch of lots turned back that, hey, we don't want them anymore, just take it. And not only do you not get this road assessment for that, you don't get the dues from it anymore. And what'd you say, we've had one? Only one, so everybody seems to be willing to pay for that. Okay, road update. We're going to start hopefully the week of July 21st, although it keeps raining and it keeps pushing the contractor behind on his other jobs. We were hoping to start right after the 1st of July, and of course he's 3 weeks behind.
Who's the contractor?
Blankenship Excavating. We've vetted him thoroughly. He does a lot of work for Crawford County. We've talked to the Crawford County road engineer who speaks very, very highly of him. And you can see many examples of his work around the county. So we're very optimistic about what he'll do. We think it'll take 8 to 10 weeks. probably not that long if we get good weather, but who knows. And we're going to made the decision, we looked at the finances, and Joe sharpened his pencil. We're going to do the west side of the lake, from the dam to the bridge, everything, including Sequoia and Pawnee in the back.
So all the back roads are gonna be covered?
Bubba, all the back roads are going to be covered. You know, what's frustrating is I've been saying that for 6 months since we started. Would you people quit believing what's on Facebook? I mean, honestly, call me, ask me, phone me. Don't act like it's some big
I
surprise.
certainly hope they got their answer now with you making that statement.
If you know, people lie on Facebook just to see if they can get a reaction. It's called being an arsonist. And there's a couple of guys out there right now that are actually doing that. I truly believe they're arsonists. They just want to throw a match on the fire and see it burn and see what kind of reaction they can get. We're very open, we're very honest. Call me, stop me when I'm in my golf cart, call the office, email, and I'll tell you what's going on. We have never said we weren't going to do the back roads. We're always going to do all the roads. It's just a matter of timing, and we are going to do the back roads. The only difference between the back roads and Lakeshore, the main roads, is Lakeshore is going to be a little bit wider because of the traffic. I think we're looking at 18 to 20 feet on the back roads and 22 to 24 feet on Lakeshore, depending on where it is. Around the corners, it's going to be a little wider for safety. But again, never ever had an intention of doing the back roads with gravel or not doing them at all.
Thank you for clarifying that first. Second question is that are you thinking that there's going to be any night work on this issue?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, I got a question.
Let me get through and then you can
Okay.
ask questions. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, contractor's gonna start with the road grader and cleaning up the ditches. He's not gonna take care of personal culverts under driveways. And I know we got a lot of them out there that are gonna be problems, but the way the ditches are, it's hard to tell who's got a real problem that needs to be replaced, or whether it's just plugged, or whether the ditch isn't functioning properly. Once we get the ditches cleaned out, then he's gonna come through and take out the bad places on the road that really need to be excavated. Then we're going to put the layer of gravel down, compact it, and then we're going to chip seal on top of it. The two things to come out of cleaning the one thing out of the cleaning of the ditches, when we do see that your culvert under your driveway is a problem, you're going to get a notice the next time it rains, and if it's plugged, you're going to have to fix it. Per the bylaws and the burb, you guys are responsible, the members, I shouldn't say you guys, we're all responsible for the culvert under our driveway. And if you don't fix it, we're gonna fix it. And it needs to be done, otherwise we'll just tear up the roads we've got. As far as the process goes, the contractor can work from 7 a.m. to 6 o'clock in the evening, Monday through noon on Fridays. And we're stopping him at noon on Fridays because that's when traffic gets busy. And on Labor Day, it'll be the same thing, only I think on Thursday before the holiday, we'll stop it so we don't have people hauling boats and campers or whatever around when we're trying to work on the roads. With the way he does his process, he said that nobody will be blocked from their driveway for more than 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And he can make that happen. We'll be telling people via text and emails what the schedule is, when he's going to be in front of what section of Lakeshore. But be prepared, you may have to wait 10 or 15 minutes to get in or out of your driveway. If you see them working close to your house, don't wait till the last minute to get to your doctor's appointment. Get your car out and get on. But we should be good. And again, if we've got any questions, call me. The one thing the contractor asked, because he's worked in HOAs before, please do not bother the road crew or the flagman or Mr. Blankenship while they're out there working. That just slows them down. If you've got any concerns, any issue, roads at ILPOA, or call Michelle in the office and she'll get a hold of me. But stay out of their way. Second thing is, please, 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 pay attention to the flagmen. They're going to have flagmen on each end of the crews to slow cars down and help direct them or pause them when they need to be paused. Please don't think you're in such a big hurry that you got to go through and potentially injure somebody. The other thing that we've just started working on is mailboxes. Now, the U.S. Postal Service, this isn't Cuba, this is the United States Postal Service. You can go on their website. Your mailbox on the side of your road has to be 48 inches tall and no more than 10 inches, the front of the box, no more than 10 inches away from the side of the road. And we'll get Gary, you and I can get the little chart that the post office does for that. Now, I talked to the postmaster yesterday here in Cuba, and the issue they have is, where's the edge of the road here in Indian Hills? So the ladies, the contract carriers have been very lenient, and sometimes, and actually my box is probably about 4 feet off the side of the road. She's very lenient, and she's made quite a bit of ruts in front of our mailboxes driving through the mud to deliver our mail. They're not going to do that anymore once there's a defined edge in the road. They're not supposed to drive off. So, and everybody's going to be responsible for their own mailbox. The association's not going to pick that up, and you may have to move your mailbox. There's several people here in the community. I hate to make recommendations, but I think you all see the guys on Facebook looking for work that we'll be glad for a few bucks move your mailbox for you if you can't do it yourself. But that'll have to be done. If you're a part-timer and you don't want to get mail, take your mailbox out, put a zip tie on it. That was the postmaster's suggestion. Just put a zip tie on it and lock it shut if you don't want to get mail. But now, knowing if you do that, they won't drop the Amazon package off at your front door. It'll go back to the post office. So those are all options for you. I guess that's my notes on road. Deb, go ahead.
Would it be possible, and I know we're on the second round, so.
Second, third, fourth, I don't know, Debbie.
Oh, don't say that. Could they put like a little mark where the edge of the road is gonna come so people would know how to place their mailbox and can plan appropriately now?
No, because they don't know where it's going to be right
Or
now.
where the edge of the road's gonna be?
No. They're going to clean up the ditches, and that's part of the problem is some of the ditches have migrated out to be part of the road. So they're going to come through and clean it up as best they can and use their judgment while they're laying it to tell where the edge of the road's going to be. Go ahead, Bob. I can't wait.
No, you're talking about on Lake Shore, they're gonna extend it the width of the road, so they're gonna compact the base and sub-base and put stone down and asphalt and then chip and seal?
Not asphalt, gravel, and
So
then
they're just gonna chip and seal
they would
over new
just
gravel?
chip seal.
Okay. What about the repairs? Are they gonna, Cove 6, you lived in Cove 6. You know the 90-degree turn there, how rough as a cob it is?
Yes.
How are they gonna address that?
I have no idea. It's up to them. The very bad places they are going to excavate out
Okay, that's
and
my
put
question.
asphalt in, but
Okay.
I don't have the exact map
Okay,
from the
but that's-
contractor where
That's
it's,
a jest to my question.
Yeah.
Second thing on the culverts. Have you thought if we're gonna have to replace a lot of members' culverts, for consistency's sake, maybe having a member pay our maintenance crew to replace the culvert?
not getting in that
You're
business.
not getting it, okay.
Don't have the manpower, don't have the expertise, don't want to deal with
Well,
a
your
whole
guys
bu-
are, no, seriously, you guys have replaced culverts before, so they're
Yeah.
pretty good at it.
But it's more of a manpower issue.
Manpower, okay.
Yes, Mr. Bodie.
You said they're gonna do from the dam to the bridge, which sounds like about half of the road. It's about what percentage of the budget will that use, or do you know?
It's, God, you'd ask me that question. I'd draw a blank. It's about it's less than a third of the roads. While it seems like it's a lot, there's a lot of roadway up here on Hickory and Oak and those roads back there, so it's not really half the roads. And it's going to take about 660 out of the $2.5 million. Yeah, and we're stretching ourselves a little bit to get that much done. We're gonna, the association budget or savings has got some room in it that we're gonna use. The idea is it's never gonna be any cheaper to do it now. Costs only go up, so we're trying to get absolutely as much done as we can in this first year,
Did Blankenship bid the whole project or just this year?
just this year.
How many bids did you get, may I ask?
4.
Okay, good.
Is the contractor authorized to remove someone's mailbox if they don't do it themselves?
Absolutely not. That's a federal issue.
Yeah.
And me and the postmaster and I had that conversation, which is partially why the association doesn't want to get involved in moving, replacing, or anything else, because that's a big deal screwing with people's
If
mailboxes.
that doesn't happen and someone doesn't remove it, is that gonna slow the project down, or how do they work around that?
There's none of them that are too close.
Yeah,
No? Okay.
It's going to be a matter of they're too far off.
yeah.
I got you.
Can you send something out on the ILPOA or Facebook or wherever you want that gives you this, everybody this information, because there's only a few of us here.
Yeah. Well, essentially what I'm saying, we said in the email blast a week ago. I don't think I'm saying anything different other than the post office piece, the mailbox piece, and we are going to put that out there in an email blast next week, correct, Gary? And we're also talking on
You said that was
YouTube.
in an email?
Yeah, there was an email blast that went out last week. If you're not getting these emails, because Gary
I
said,
normally get them, but sometimes Gary cuts me off the list.
now let's,
John, there's a reason for that.
it's a personal issue.
I've been told to do it.
What if, so you said we're responsible for our driveways.
Yes.
And as they're redoing the ditches, you see some of them where, you know, it's 2 driveways. This one's clearly lower than this one, but the culvert going under is up here.
Yep.
Who's responsible for the one going under the road?
No, the association's responsible for what's going under the road, and we're dealing with those.
Okay, so if one of them's too high and they have to move it, that's part of the project, not.
Well, no, maintenance will pick that up, but I don't think we're going to have any issues on the backside. We've already replaced 2 significant culverts that were failing under the roads.
Not necessarily failing, just looking like it's
Yeah.
higher than.
One of them over by Rich's house was that way, and we
Okay.
fixed that one.
Yeah.
So it's, I think we've dealt with all those that the community is responsible for. But I'm not saying there won't be next year. We won't have to come back out and replace one and patch the road. It's just what we live with.
Yeah.
So, that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other road questions?
Oh, I should probably just wait till next year whenever you're gonna be doing this side. But you said you were gonna try to make it wider on the curves. I know that at my house, I overlooked zone 1, and my concrete comes up to where the road is supposed to be, but there's no road there. And so, if you make that wider, how does that affect the concrete of my driveway?
Well, we're not gonna damage the concrete of your driveway. I mean, we're not gonna make them wider than they are now.
Okay. that's
It's
fine.
just as you go around some of the corners, especially up here by Bob Tom's, I think it's 30 feet wide. So that's all we're talking about, just to make sure that people have room to navigate the corners.
Okay, that's all.
Have they talked about where they're staging at night? Like, where are they gonna store equipment?
Yes. There's 2 locations. Number 1, the Stardock parking lot. And also, I don't know if you guys remember where we logged a few years ago, behind Cove 6. There's an area up there that they can use, that's the association ground. And they're also that is where they're going to be dumping the waste as they clean out the ditches. We've got 40 acres back up there where we logged, and we're going to take the waste up there and spread
That's
it
why you
out.
guys were back there cleaning it a while back.
Yeah, they were back this week, so you get trucks back there. And that saves us a lot of money that they don't have to drive it into town and find a place to dump it for fill. So that's a good thing. Jim?
Along the lines of the question about the concrete driveways, if the road is lower than the driveway, they're gonna try to bring the road up enough so that it meets the concrete.
Yes. The idea, I mean, we've got so many places where, I mean, the biggest problem with the roads is over the years, the crown has just dropped down too far, and it's lower than the ditches, it's lower than the driveways. and that's why water runs through there and breaks up the shoulders on the road. So we're going to learn a lot this first time around. I guarantee you, I've said it since the beginning, I guarantee you, y'all aren't going to be happy. Somebody's going to have something negative to say, and I'm sure there
I think you're doing it right.
yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of negative posts on Facebook how we don't know what we're doing and we're stealing all the money, but knock yourselves out if that's what you want to do.
Other than that, everything's in really good shape.
Other than that, I don't have a house being built in the Bahamas right now, so
Not yet.
I kind of, yeah, not yet. I kind of like it here for now, so. Say what? Yeah, and to Bob's continual question, I'll ask it for you. We have an arrangement with Cochran Engineering. They'll be out supervising and making sure the contractor's doing what they're supposed
Are
to
they
be
just
doing.
gonna do spot checks, or are they gonna be somebody full-time on it?
Spot checks. We
yeah.
worked with Cochran, and they've
You couldn't
worked.
afford full-time.
No, we've worked with Cochran. They've worked with Blankenship. We're kind of all on the same page, so we should be good. And what they're doing, quite honestly, is a lot simpler than building a bridge. This isn't rocket science for them, and I just don't foresee any issues. The next is that we're going to go to Blake next because I know that's the hot topic, as it should be. Is there any other questions about anything besides the lake you want to talk about now before we go to the lake? Go ahead, Darryl.
You had said that Blankenship has done quite a few, or some, business around here. Is there an example of what we're going to get that those people that are serious on?
Yeah, go over on the back side of the airport. Go around. I can't remember what those roads are called. Springfield Road.
Old Springfield.
Yeah, Old Springfield Road. Just drive.
Melody Lane.
And Melody Lane. That's the name I was. Oh yeah, Mary Beth, you snuck in on me. You got that visor on. I can't tell who you are.
There's a reason for that.
Mary Beth, everybody. You got tomatoes to throw. She's right there.
Threw her under the bus.
This is her project. No. Yeah, run around Springfield Road and Melody Lane, and you'll get an example of what's happened. You know, honestly, we've talked about it a lot. It's really the same thing they did for the roads here the last time they did it 3 decades ago. If you look at places where the water company hasn't torn it up and the ditches haven't caused problems, driving here past the marina or over, I guess there's a section over by Don Lane's house on the other side. They're pretty nice roads. And if the association can, the big thing we got to do, after the project's done, we got to keep giving money, future boards, future members, we've got to keep giving money to upkeep. If you don't upkeep them, they go to hell. I've got my subdivision back in Baldwin, was built 35 years ago, and they're concrete roads that the county supervised putting in. And they're almost as bad as these now with all the potholes and everything because they haven't spent a dime fixing anything up. So whether it's concrete or seal chip and seal or asphalt, you got to maintain them. And for years we didn't have the money or the desire. I wasn't on the board for a long, up until the last 4 years. I don't know what decisions were made or weren't made, but you got to maintain the roads going forward, everybody. And whenever there's a vote, please vote to keep maintaining the roads.
Speaking of that, are you having any success trying to get about a 5-ton roller for the maintenance crew to patch the roads once we get this?
You want to write a check?
No, I don't have that kind of money. But
No, actually, we're saving money. Nancy Windorf and I talk about that all the time.
it seems that's your number one
Yeah.
priority equipment-wise.
Part of our problem right now, trying to patch some of the roads, I like to rent equipment if you're only going to use it a few weeks out of the year. That way it's somebody else's problem to maintain and it does a big capital outlay. You can't rent a roller between St. Louis and Springfield, Missouri right now. Everybody's got them rented and they're out. So we might have to shell out and buy one next year. And that's $20,000, $30,000 for a good used one. Don?
Do you anticipate doing an assessment to create a fund for ongoing maintenance and continuing to fund that? How are you going to do the maintenance going forward?
I can't
What do
see-
you anticipate that
I
yearly requirement?
don't anticipate it. but we've talked about it, and again, quite honestly, I may not be on the board when this project's done. None of us may. I mean, you know how the board turns over. I may not, but it's probably what needs to happen in the community is just an annual assessment. Come out and do 4 or 5 miles a year, just recovering it. That's the right way to do it.
Why not sell vehicle stickers? $100 a vehicle.
I'm not going to get into detailed fundraising.
But, I mean, that's one way.
You're talking about hundreds of dollars raising, not the tens of thousands that you need. You had a question over there,
A
John?
comment. Two things were, they used to, I was on the audit committee back in the 90s, and they used to do, or try to do a third in a rotating fashion. However, we also had a comment that would never make it to the board because a person on the board was doing all the bidding. If there was bidding, and twice they picked somebody that wasn't the lowest bid without the board's approval. So just so be aware of that.
Yeah, I've
And
heard.
he didn't have a house in the Bahamas.
I've heard all the horror stories, and right now I think we're all very lucky. This is a very professional board right now. It's better than a lot of them I've lived through. I've been down here 22 years. I've seen a lot of the shenanigans that went on with previous boards, and I think we're all very lucky to have this group of people around me at this point. And you don't have to worry about that with this group. Can't say what's going to happen in 5 or 10 years, but that's that. All right. Anything else?
Will there be any striping done on the roads?
Looking at that, the thought is just at least on the main drag to put a white line down the middle of it. There's a company out there. What was the name of that company? Lines or Us or something really funky like that. That our contractor said does a good, cost-effective job. Huh? It's not going to look like the drunks that did it when you were on the board, Gary.
We don't know where the road is, we never.
Remember, everybody remember that? That looked like somebody was drunk when they were.
I keep telling you, that was Kevin driving the Kubota with somebody sitting on the back.
With a spray can.
It was spray can.
It looked like it was drunk, but it wasn't.
Yep. All right.
Debbie.
Wait, Deb Dahl.
Debbie's got it done.
Have you thought about putting those, like, little ridges when the chip and seal is still wet, so that you know you're going off the side of the road or you're going over the middle of the road?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
That all, Deb, that would be great, but that all costs money.
Was it? Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
What about accountability for all the contractors coming in after we have the road done? 50, 70,000 pounds bouncing down the road doing 45, 50 miles.
Well, that's why we have.
Who's accountable now? I think the homeowners should be.
At 6:50 in the morning.
Well, and
I
that's
think the homeowners should
yeah.
fine
I
them.
don't disagree. We're trying to, figure out how to get a good handle on that. My personal favorite would be to embargo the roads and don't let trucks with more than 10 ton on there, but that's going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't know how we'd enforce it. And that's part of our problem is we don't have a lot of ways to enforce things. I will tell you that we're going to assess if a homeowner's having work done at his house or a house built, and the contractor takes his track hoe out into the road and spins it around and tears the shit out of the road, the homeowner's going to get a bill for that.
Right.
And we see a lot of that going on because contractors are just lazy. Some of them. The general wear and tear of the big trucks going down the road, that's why everybody's mad about the permit fee we charge. Well, every community, every county, every city in the world charges a building fee, permit fee, and that's part of it is for the wear and tear on the roads going around. So that's just sort of a general fund we try to deal with. We're probably going to take a look, John, at as we finish the roads, upping the fee for the big things like building a new house, especially these $1 million houses that are going to go up. What's $3,000 or $4,000 for a road for a permit fee if you're building a house that big? You're going to pay more than that in St. Louis County, I guarantee you. So those are the things we're looking at.
I'm just the reason I said that. A couple of your guys almost got hit a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you were aware of it.
Oh, I know. The contractors go through here.
There's a woman that walks by my place. She comes down from about Gary's house. She's got MS. She walks down there. And I've seen several times where she's had to jump off.
Yeah.
I just think that's totally unacceptable.
I agree.
As an aside, when I see people doing that, I don't call the office, I call the company.
Yeah.
And tell their people to slow down.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get them banned.
Yeah, I mean, we can
And
pull.
I'm not on the board, and I can't make that happen, but I.
You know what? If we get enough complaints, we can have a call. We do have occasional
File a complaint.
conversations with PJ because his guys go 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I'll pull his vendor card. We'll pull his vendor cards. He can just call every time he wants to come through the gate and get somebody to let him in.
I don't know if this has been discussed in prior meetings, but is there a set time limit where any contractors allowed through the gate?
We don't have a time through the gate, but we do have a construction time, correct, Gary?
7 in the morning.
Can
Nothing
we
before
discuss
7.
that, or can the board discuss that about timing when the any contractor is allowed to go through the gate in the morning?
What's your
Just like I
con-
said, I caught one the other day, when I was sitting there drinking coffee at 6:50 in the morning. I got a big truck bouncing down the road at 6:50 in the morning. I'm like, I thought there was a rule on that.
I think there is.
They were driving, they weren't
Coming
constructing.
in, but they not
Yeah.
started.
Bubba, we'll take that up in the next meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, are we ready to go ahead?
I have a comment on that. I work construction. I haul a trailer home. I live here.
Don't be so noisy.
I work-
Don't be so noisy.
It's a one-ton truck pulling a trailer a lot of times.
I understand.
I work days, I work nights also. I try not to drive fast there because I know it's noisy and bouncy.
Not going to
Yeah.
pick on you.
And I don't think we're having an issue with what you're doing.
Okay.
I don't think there is. I don't know.
Hopefully only for 1 year.
Why, retirement?
Yes.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Yes. Future board member.
I'm in construction, I go excavating too,
Yep.
and I can haul 50,000 pounds on my truck.
Binks, I talked to the contractor. He's loaded up.
Yeah, and believe me, in my opinion, you can't drive over 20 miles an hour in these roads.
Yeah.
I know I don't.
Well, yeah, I know, you know, and that's an interesting point for all the people that say, oh, you know, these dump trucks go through here at 50 miles an hour. Because they're loud and they're big, it looks like they're going a lot faster. We've got a speed gun out here, and Mike's been out here and clocking them. They're not going 50 miles an hour. It just looks like it.
I followed one out of here one day, and that guy was driving 50 miles.
I'm not saying they some of them don't, but they're not all that way. Barb?
Can I make a suggestion that you repeat questions and things, because I don't know that everyone's hearing everything, maybe in the back or comments and stuff.
You may start back at the beginning.
No, I'm just saying going forward, if you could.
Okay.
Do that.
Hey, let's unless anybody's really got a burning question, if you got any more questions about the finance, the roads, security, anything else in general, email Michelle in the office. I'm pretty good at turning around responses as long as, you know, you got to know I got a family, and at 3 o'clock on July 3rd, you're probably not going to get an email response from me until the next week, unless it's a crisis. But just email me. I'll get back to you with your
Tom, to
content.
answer Bubba's question, the construction time is 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, or 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, and holidays.
Thank you, Barry.
Okay.
Uh-oh, there's a question. Cut the air, I think that's why we can't hear.
The air.
I agree. John's got it.
You got it? Okay.
Water.
All right, is that all? We're ready to adjourn?
Please.
All right.
Turned it down just for you.
Yeah, turn it. Yeah, you turn.
Gary, you want to start off?
Yeah, he turns it down just in time for me to speak, so everybody can hear what I have to say.
I just want to say something before he starts. Nobody is taking this slime, scum, terrible condition of the lake more seriously than the board is. I had my 2-year-old granddaughter down here this week, and I had to tell her she couldn't jump off my diving board because the water was so slimy around my dock. So don't think we're not taking this seriously just because we may not be taking the action that you think we should. Mr. Weber here has just about turned lake restoration into a full-time job, much to the dismay of his wife and his grandchildren, but he's working He's working very hard, working with some very smart people. Please listen to him. Please give him respect. And again, just because we're not taking the action that's been done in the past and you think we ought to be doing it again, that's not the answer. And he's going to talk about some of the things going on that he's got doing. Is that a good intro?
I would say that's a really good intro. I had my own intro, and my intro was going to be, by chance, did anybody see my last reminder email that I sent out yesterday afternoon? Raise your hands real quick. Did you notice anything that was in there that I should be aware of? Did you catch it? This is a trick. We are now Indiana Hills. Did you not see that? Nobody saw it. I didn't see it. John Howard saw it and told me, hey, when did we change the name again? And I said, John, what are you talking about? I didn't catch it, Tom. Nobody caught this. Point being is, are we reading our emails? Are we paying close attention to the details in the emails? Or are we just wanting to complain? Because I will tell you, I have been putting a lot of hours into this, and I don't want no accolades for it because I'm a member, first and foremost. This lake is important to all of us. And I will tell you, I'm happy what I'm seeing so far. Any comments? I'm happy, and I'll tell you why. John.
If you catch the paper, folks, there's a lot of people around these lakes fighting the same thing we do.
Exactly. The news media. Watch the news media. You think we're unique? Think we're alone? No. We're fortunate. We got aeration going for us right now. Is that going to solve our problems 100%? No, it will not. Here's what I'm happy about. We have a great relationship going on right now with the University of Missouri. Limologist Rebecca North. I was told on Wednesday morning, I guess it was, talking to the DNR, well, Gary, if you haven't reached out to the university, you need to. I said, why is that? He goes, they have one of the best limologists there in Rebecca North. We believe she's the best in the state, if not in the country. She's in our court. DNR's in our court. Missouri Conservation's in our court. The problem we're having, data. She's collecting data that she will analyze in the fall to tell us what we have to do going forward with this lake. She's not going to make any recommendations because she don't have a base. She's read the reports that we've given her. That's great. She goes, but I need my reports. Until I have my reports, I can't say much of anything. Here's what's interesting to me. The slime, really bad, right? Anybody notice it? It's ugly. So I contacted her, and she's in the Netherlands, and she got to her team. They sent out a kit to me to go out and take sample vials. I took 7 different locations, 28 different vials. Sent it to her. Normally that would be waiting until the fall to be analyzed. She's going to do it in 2 weeks. Okay, so now we're going to get some strong information. Is this bloom as bad as it looks? Okay?
Is it toxic?
Is it toxic? It might be a horrible bloom, but it might not be 100% toxic. It might not be toxic here, it might be a little bit more here. Okay? The other day I was working on the aeration system in Cove 7, replacing some lines. Went over to help TJ in Cove 5. I got to Cove 5, and you should have seen the slime. At the farthest portion back where the airlines come in off the compressor. I could have walked across it. I got a rock, I threw it in there, it dissipated, and just that quick, it all came back together. So I said, this is great. I'm going to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to get me a sample of this shit. Sorry. And then I get there the next morning, it wasn't there. Okay, what's the lifespan of algae? Or a cyanobloom or a green blue algae? Anybody know the lifespan of it? 1 to 2 weeks. It goes away, it dissipates, it decomposes, but more comes back. We've had a lot of problems this year in our state. Rain, 100-year rain in April, more rain in April than we've ever had. Watershed from 90-something acres, I think, that comes into our system.
3,500 acres.
I thought it was 90-something acres.
No, it's 3,500 acres.
It's thousands.
It's 3,500 acres.
95,000 acres, I thought.
No, 35.
Anyway, whatever it is.
The Lake Restoration Committee, it was estimated by the state at over 10,000 acres.
All I know is it's a lot, right, on the watershed that's coming into our lake. We have no control over that. What's happening is there's so much phosphates and nitrates in our water. That's nutrients to make it bloom. It's food. More food, guess what? More growth. So we have to fight this. Be patient. We have to understand that we have a great relationship going on with the university. I mean, for her to say, tell her team to come back and take samples, get samples, and to get it done in a week or two, so we have information, I don't think that's not bad. And we're working with somebody that knows our lakes in Missouri. They keep track of 166 lakes. They were keeping track of our lake from 78 to 2020. Okay, we were on their program. They did our lakes, they did an assessment 16 times during that period. 16 times. Since 2020, they haven't done anything. We're back on the map. We're back with them. They want to work with us, and they're going to give us some good information. Why haven't we given you this information sooner? We're still gathering. Would you be an author and want to write a book and let them read it before you got it done? No, you want to make sure your resources, your data, your information is accurate and updated. As soon as we have all that, you will have it. We're not hiding nothing from no one. We have to wait for the information. And I know that might not be what you want to hear, but that's just the way we have to do this right now. Communicate maybe a little more to you, that's fine. But as far as giving you an answer, there is no real answer yet. We're still gathering the data. So I'm excited. I mean, I really am. She has been in the Netherlands. She responds to my emails. She responds to text messages while she's there. You know why she's there? Because the Netherlands has the worst water, one of the worst water systems in the world. Phosphates and nitrates are their biggest problem. She's there studying and presenting. That's pretty good. To me, that's a pretty good resume. John. Don.
Gary, we talk the same, you guys talk the same way about Dr. JJ being the best in the world and stuff.
I never said that.
So.
I did.
So what has changed, or what was?
Well, okay. Here's how it started. To find Rebecca North. When I started talking with the Missouri Conservation Department back last fall, realizing there's resources that why aren't we using them that are available to us from the state? Why are we not going to DNR? Then I start researching and saying, well, what entomologists are here in Missouri? Guess who I found? Rebecca North. So I reached out to her. You know how long for me? Probably took me 6 weeks before she responded. We got together. She's that busy. But I wasn't going to give up because I read her resume and I thought, this lady's very interesting. Grew up in Canada, studied lakes there, comes to Missouri and says our lakes in Missouri are nothing like they are up there. So don't you want somebody that understands our lake system? Because we have unique lakes. How many natural lakes are in Missouri? Anybody know? Mark, which one?
One in Maryland Heights.
She's absolutely correct. Creve Coeur is the one of, I think there might be Bull Shoals considered maybe. No. I don't know. No. If you Google search how many natural lakes are in Missouri, you're going to find one and it's going to say Creve Coeur. We're reservoirs. We're a collection pod for runoff. We got the the beautification of the lake. They have the fishery, the boating, and all those things. And there's the next problem. We're trying to be a boating lake, recreational lake, and a fishing lake. And everybody says, boy, that's a tough thing to do all of that. But we're trying, okay? So, I mean, I have, some highlight notes here, but I don't think it's necessary for me to touch on those. I just want people to know we are doing something. Yes?
Is Dr. JJ in the past?
She's still on board at this point. And
the question was asked.
And she does share. The two of them have gotten together via email and shared information that Dr. used. JJ won it from Rebecca, but it's more been that I've seen has been more Rebecca North asking Dr. JJ for information about the lake, and she's been getting it. So we got that too. I mean, we're getting still.
Are we paying her still, Dr. JJ?
Yes.
As of right now.
Mm-hmm. Which one we paying?
Both of them.
Actually, both. But we're getting a pretty good deal with the
tax
university.
dollars are paying for Dr. North primarily.
Some of the stuff that they're doing right now is through the SLAP program, statewide lake assessment program. So when they come out and do an assessment on the lake right now, and it's part of SLAP, they don't charge us for that. But we've asked them to give us more. They're even going up to tributaries to find out. We have to find out, is it internal or external? By that, where's the phosphates and nitrates coming from? Is it coming from internal? Or is it coming from the watersheds that create?
Those feedlots right upstream.
It's coming from somewhere. And that's
Well-
what Rebecca North is saying.
And when he says internal, he's not talking necessarily about a bad septic system here or
No.
there. It's 62 years of muck that's decaying
In
off
the
the
lake.
bottom of the lake will create phosphorus and feed the algae.
Exactly. So that's where we're at. We're trying to determine the internal, external, and a lot more too, but Deb.
Is it possible the
Well,
aeration?
Deb.
Is it safe to swim in the water on the main channel?
Absolutely.
Is
We
no
feel
room?
there's not been
Don't
anything.
say absolutely.
Huh?
There's no absolute.
No, there's no absolute. That's probably true. That's probably not a good word, but you can.
So swimming
but
off our dock is.
If it looks slimy, would you jump in it?
No.
If
I
it's
mean,
out on the
hasn't-
lake and
I
it
haven't
looks-
seen anything on the
Yeah.
main
Yeah.
channel.
Common sense, Debbie.
Yeah, common sense. That's better.
If it
word.
looks slimy and you don't feel comfortable, don't get in.
Do not let your dogs get in from the shoreline. I will tell you that much.
If it's slimy.
Even if it's not slimy, I don't think I would let my
Yeah.
dogs in on the shoreline.
Before you go down to questions,
Okay.
do you want me to read?
Well, no, this is a two-part thing. Okay, I was going to bring you up to date with what I just talked about. Now, Tom's going to do a second part and answer questions that a member sent into the board, and we're going to address the question. Tom's going to give the answer to what he wants to know. So maybe hold on to your questions now, because you might get what your question is already there being answered. Then after that, please ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't want to stifle anybody's questions, but we did have a member that was very adamant that we ask his questions in the meeting, and actually they're relevant questions, they're fair questions, and I think they might be some of the ones you all have in your heads. So that's the only reason I wanted to start with his first to get the ball rolling, and we can go from there. The first question is, what are Dr. North's teams about the previous Sysbio augmentation results in the last 3 years? And the response is, Dr. North is a professional, as is everybody else we're working with, and they're not about to pass judgment on anything we've done in the past until they've fully analyzed and made their own determination. It's just not a fair thing for them to do. How do their test results compare with Sysbio's results in terms of water depth, clarity, dissolution of muck, and amounts of good and bad cyanobacteria? Well, that's a good question, and we wish we knew the answer to that. We're actively working on that, but the testing formats differ between the different teams, and they can figure out how they compare. We just haven't got that information yet. Gary and I can't sit there and say this to this to this. So we are.
Yeah. Let me interject something real quick. I have requested from Phycotech, who's been testing our waters since the beginning of March of 2021, a complete spreadsheet analysis of all the reports and what does it all mean. I looked at the reports. I thought that Tom said, why don't we do that? And I looked at it and said, no way. Called them up and said, this is what we're looking for. Can you do this? They said, absolutely. They said, what's it going to cost? Because it's not free. So we will be spending maybe $1,000 to get a report that will give us a much better indication to maybe answer that question that he had.
And at the end of the process, it'll probably be this fall or this winter, we expect to have a full analysis in the history of all these things, factors on the lake, the phosphorus, the cyanobacteria, going back 20 years, because we've got that information from the DNR and the SLAP program.
Jack, forgot to say this. The lake is not dying. It's not. I was reassured by Rebecca North to say, your lake is not dying. It's been told, I've heard it, know where it came from. People are saying, your lake's gonna die because we're not doing anything. BS. I'm done.
Okay. Can you post all the documentation from emails and attachments that the Mizzou team have provided put it on the ILPOA website, including all test results? Short answer, no. We're posting test results. We will be posting test results as they come in conclusively and as we can review them and understand them so we can answer your questions. Putting preliminary information out there would just cause more stress and angst among the members than necessary. If any of you out there think you're or are enough of a scientific mind you'd like to see them and do your own analysis, we'll be glad to share them with you, but just
Absolutely.
posting them out there for
Just
the
ask.
general public wouldn't be helpful. And as far as the emails, we're going back and forth with these people several times a day, asking questions, giving feedback to them. Posting those emails serves no value. Ask us send us an email, run into us, ask us anything you want to ask us, and we'll tell you. But we're not going to overload the website with thousands of pages of insignificant information. Have there been or will there be any treatments this year? Short answer, no. We're doing research. If not, what does the Dr. North's group think will happen to water quality? As Gary said, absolutely nothing. It's going to be what it's going to be. The lake's not going to die. And we're going to do the research and figure out what, and this is a big one, what, if anything, can be done to improve the water quality of the lake. They consistently remind us that we're a 62-year-old mud-bottom lake in Missouri. Some things you can't fix. Some things you can. That's why we're doing the research. Are we any closer to selecting a vendor? Well, as we've stated repeatedly, we don't know what we'd hire a vendor to do. So it's pretty tough to hire a doctor when you don't know what your symptoms are. The next question, what are ballpark estimates on the cost of continuing lake restoration with another vendor? As I just said, we're not really looking to select another vendor, but we did do a lot of research this winter on what other solutions are. And trust me, there is no shortage of people willing to take our money. And they've got every solution out there. The one I liked the best was putting antennas in the water around the lake and zapping the lake with electromagnetic waves. And he assured me that would work. But all those, everything north of $150,000. It's not insignificant amounts of money. And to do anything additionally until we do better research and we fully understand what's going on would just be a waste of money. It'd be a shot in the dark that we threw at the right target. And those are the questions that we're asked, and Gary and I will both try to field any more questions you've got.
Last year, the lake looked a lot clearer, and we've been getting those treatments. Was it determined that the treatments really weren't doing anything, and that's why we're not spending for them?
The question, I'm going to repeat your question for everybody, make sure I get it right. You're asking, last year the lake looked better. Is that because of the treatments we were getting, and we're not getting the treatments now? Is that why the lake's murky and slimy?
No, was it determined that the treatments weren't really doing anything?
No, it hasn't been determined that the treatments weren't doing anything. We did have a lot of questions about the efficacy of the treatments, and that's why we decided to take a pause this year and just see what the results of all the tests that Dr. North's doing. We have had assurances from the Department of Conservation and the DNR and from Dr. North that the slime and the green we're seeing now is not related to the lack of doing the bioaugmentation. It's something it's the weather, the heat, the rain, and every other lake in Missouri is seeing a problem similar.
I have a question. You mentioned about the aeration, bringing up some off the lake bottom. Has the researchers given any indication there could be a correlation between aeration of the lake and the increase in phosphates for the scum?
That is a good question and something they're looking at.
That's what they're looking at.
Because it seemed like maybe this started increasing the phosphate when we started aerating the lake.
That is a great question that we're all asking ourselves.
Okay.
You can find on the internet where there's lakes that stop doing it. Dr. North has stated she's not sure that she would recommend doing that today.
Stopping it?
No, installing them.
I got you.
Without doing the research that she did and knowing what's on the bottom. However, what she said is we've been running them for 4 or 5 years. whatever they've stirred up,
It's probably done.
they've already stirred up, and that continuing to run them for now until we know more is the right thing to do. Mr. Bodie.
About 6 or 8 years ago, there were a bunch of grass carp added to the lake. Does anybody know what the status of them are right now?
The question was, what happened to the grass carp we put into the lake 8 years ago?
It might have been 8.
Whatever, yeah,
Who did that?
20 years ago.
20 years ago, Jim would know.
No, it's more recent than that. I've only been here 6, and they did it right when I came in. I think hey Bill, I think I got the answer for you. when Missouri Department of Conservation came out and did the shocking 1st of May. By the way, I'm still waiting for the final report from that because he's been so busy he hasn't given me the comprehensive report on what to do forward with our fishery. He didn't mention any carp being found. But here's the thing, carp don't usually, they go deeper, and he didn't necessarily have probably the instrumentation or the way to get in the bigger carps up to the top to see if they're here. They could still be here, we don't know.
Nobody's been catching them.
I've never heard of anybody catching one.
Oh, we caught one this year.
You did? How
Yeah,
big?
Right out by an aerator.
How big? It was a carp, grass carp?
Carp.
How big?
15 inches long.
So do you want them to pull them out or keep them?
I don't know if you can pull them out.
Well, the good news is they're sterile, so they're not.
Correct, they're not reproducing.
Okay.
So,
Well, we hope they're not.
worst case scenario, they're gonna die out.
Correct.
Yeah, that was, we put the grass carp in back in '99, when the lake, if anybody remembers, we had all the grass all the way across. If you had 5 feet of water, you couldn't get a boat through it, it was so thick. So the next year, the board bought 300 grass carp and put them in there. And they're probably all gone now, but at that time, it did clear it out. I don't know if the grass carp did it or something else did it. But the next year, we didn't have any grass in it. And that was bad for the lake, because you need growth in the lake to clarify the water.
You know, and Jim, you make a good point that you've got to remember too. You know, as we shift from doing the previous treatment of the lake to what we're researching and doing now, part of the thing is the science changes. You know, my heart valve replacement this spring was a hell of a lot different than it would have been 10 years ago, thankfully. And, you know, so the science changes. Back in '99, that was the answer to the problem. Let's every lake dump grass carp in it to eat it. Now they're telling you you're nuts if you do that, because they really do destroy the ecosystem of the lake. So you've just, everything we do, we want to make sure we research completely to make sure here's the good benefit, here's the good side of it, what's the bad side of it, and we've got to be careful not to jump to any conclusions. All the green slime on top, I've talked to companies that specialize in treating that on ponds, and we could go out and buy a bunch of copper sulfate, and I guess they have to install it because it's a regulated chemical.
Yeah.
We'll go kill it all. But
then if you do that, you have to add another chemical to offset some of the reaction that it created.
And I don't know whether I'd rather have my kids swimming in the slime or a bunch of water with copper sulfate in it. So you just, and even the companies I've talked to, unless your lake is completely covered end to end with green slime and it doesn't go away, do not put copper sulfate on the stuff. It's just, it causes more problems than it's worth unless you're completely screwed.
Back in the back,
Back in the
Cheryl.
back?
Sorry, Don.
The bubblers by the dam, are they gonna come back on, or?
You might not be seeing them because of the depth. I don't know. I'd have to look. The deeper they are, the harder they are to see. And you're not going to see them if the waves are moving. You just don't get to see them. We're collectively looking at, positioning where they're at now, cleaning the filter or cleaning the diffusers. We're even talking about we might be hiring a company to come do it. I only got so much time. TJ's only, so that's in discussion right now.
Yep.
As far as maintaining, because that's what they were doing. We have been trying to fix as we go and clean as we go. We might be better off to hire a contractor for X amount of dollars and have them do it. So, I was not aware that the bubblers, though. You say they're not working, or just
I was at Sanders' house, and he said they haven't been whatever, so it could be.
Whose house? I could take.
Sanders down by the dam.
Okay.
I've seen them. I've seen the ones. There's 3 along the dam. I've seen those
The
bubble.
Sandersons.
Yeah, I've seen them bubble. So again, they're very hard to see. You've got to have the right water conditions to be able to see them from a distance.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Have we
Yeah, calm
pulled
night.
all the boards because the lake doesn't seem to go down even when it rains? I mean, after the rain, like we didn't have rain for a week or whatever, and I come down here and the lake, it's just
Still full.
It's still filling up. We haven't done anything different with water level control than we've ever done. Don?
First, thank you for the information today. It's been good to hear, and I think the questions that you've received and answered are great. I'd like to see that stuff, an ongoing kind of list of those kind of questions on the website so we can keep up to speed on the questions that were asked. And I would just urge you to over-communicate, because sometimes no information just opens it up for people to say something that's wrong. So if there's been no progress this week, or
No
whatever,
progress.
right, no
Yeah.
progress this week, if there's been something that's come up, I would say, just say something, some consistent communication would be helpful, and a list of questions that have already been asked so that we can go through them on there.
We can
would
do
be
that.
great.
You and I can get together on the
Even
questions.
just an email.
Sure, I can do that.
Email is great.
Yeah, we can.
That goes fast.
We
Yeah.
Don, you've been on the board. You know, we'd like to communicate. There's no hidden agenda here. We're not
hiding.
We're not
I'm
trying to
I'm
keep.
I'm not
I understand
insinuating
it.
that. I'm just saying, you know, not everybody's at the meeting. They don't get everything, the latest. So if we have at least an email that shows
Yep.
progress, and somewhere on the website where
Would
we
you
can look
Would
at.
you like to help me with that?
Sure.
I'd love to have your help.
Jim?
Seriously.
Keep talking
I'm dead
about it.
serious. I would.
Off the
Yeah.
subject a little bit, are we gonna put minnows and that in the lake this year?
Still waiting for the report from Buck. He hasn't told us yet what he recommends yet. There will be something at it. He just hasn't had time to get the report back to
But
us.
no slime at it.
No slime at it. Exactly.
Unless you want more.
Did I answer, Jim? Did that answer? I don't know.
Oh, crappie, I cleaned a bunch of crappie the other day.
Yeah,
Most
also-
of them had mud in their gut.
Exactly. So yeah, there's going to be
You
something.
don't have nothing to eat in the lake.
Yeah.
Trust me, I bug Gary every day because I'm chomping at the bit to go spend the money
yeah.
to buy minnows. We are waiting for the Conservation Commission to come back and say exactly what we should put in there. So
We could do it on our own, but I'd rather wait to hear
again,
from him.
trying to be good stewards of the association's money and not go spend just foolishly throw money in the lake.
John?
One of the things that I was skeptical about the results was the report that we got rid of thousands and thousands of tons of muck with the process that we were using. I would encourage you to consider having if it's already been done, having another professional review that calculation to determine whether or not that's really accurate. Because there's been no change in front of my back.
Dr. North has all those reports that we've been given, so that might be something she'll have a conclusive.
And
I
in
don't know
some
if she-
respects, it
yeah.
doesn't make any difference because whatever her recommendations are.
It's going to be what they are for what.
As much as there are comments I'd like to make, I'm going to take the professional tone. We're moving forward. Does that make sense?
Well, I still believe the muck needs to get out of here, but
We're going to find out. Any other questions? Matt?
I appreciate the research aspect of it, and when we bought in here.
Say what?
When we bought in here, we thought we were coming for just tubing, skiing, kneeboarding, and we found out it really is great for fishing.
Mhm.
Are we gonna land nothing but 3 and 4 pounders? No. But I mean, heck, we watched the end of the Gasconade die over the last 20 years. You could go out every morning and fill a bag with catfish and with bass, and when we left, there was nothing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely dead. You have other conservation lakes north of here, not far north, but New Haven area, awful.
Yep.
What we're trying to do in having all three, swimming, boating, fishing, is not easy. I've worked with a private fishery biologist out of Texas that the people that are above my pay grade hire to build their own private fisheries. And the biggest things, it's super interesting, little changes, once you know the numbers, and it all takes time to grow that fish, keep that water clean. And I don't want the neon green or the neon blue lake where the dog comes out blue. when it goes for a swim. So I appreciate that we're going off the numbers. We're not rushing to just dump chemicals in there, you know,
Appreciate
so
that.
the kids don't come out in 10 years with a third eye or something.
Trying not to make a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
You know,
and
trying
I
to
know
be smart.
it's tempting.
Oh, it is
'cause
tempting.
The kids were bummed on Memorial Weekend.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate that we're trying to balance all three of those and doing what we can on it.
Thanks, Matt. Daryl?
Specifically to the E. coli levels that prevented Memorial Day swimming, was there any explanation for that? I mean, I know that I'm in code 7 and it was 9 times the healthy limit, which was alarming to me. And then suddenly, a month later, everything's great. So there must have been an event. Did anyone have any input in regards to why it spiked on Memorial Day?
We had a lot of rain. I mean, lots of rain with fertilizer, and you know, and this is a kind of speculation, but that's what the DNR and the conservation said. We had a lot of rain, and I know the one farmer that 3 or 4 farms upstream had just put a bunch of manure in his field, and guess where it all came? We are the septic tank for all that 3,500 acres of farmland.
My thought would be on that, Daryl, is maybe when we took the testing right before the holiday weekend, what would have been like if we would have taken it 2 weeks earlier? Would it have been just as bad or worse? Maybe it was really bad a month earlier and it was already working its filtration out of the system, but it was still high. Because we don't test until the holiday weekend. So to say it automatically happened right before the weekend, I don't think that's a fair assumption. The assumption is it was probably bad weeks before and when we took the test.
DNR is concerned about farm runoff, probably even more than us.
Yes.
So I'm not sure where I'm going with that, other than they want to do the same things we want to do. Maybe we ought to expand our relationship with them such that they do test runoff closer to the farms upstream or other logical places within the watershed. I believe it to be true. I mean, I think it was the rain and the fertilizer that got washed in. And
The big thing we're missing is a lot of the natural vegetation on shorelines to keep the stuff from coming in the first place. Because farmers want to cut all the way to the water line so they can, you know, grow as many crops as they can. So they cut all that back.
And
They
DNR can tell them not to do that.
Yeah, but is it happening upstream? I don't know.
We have so much we can control within our little sphere of influence. One of the things we did learn about, or I learned about E. coli that I didn't realize, the sunlight, which I would have assumed encouraged it to grow, it's actually the opposite. That period before the 4th of July, or before Memorial Day, we had a lot of rain and no sunlight. The UV rays from the sun kills the E. coli. And that's why it got a whole lot better, speculating, because the sun came out after Memorial Day and it did burn a lot of it off. So it just, man, this is a big funky world we live in, and the environment, sunlight, rain, temperature, all makes a huge difference in a lake's ecosystem. Any other questions?
I have one question. We just moved here in January, so we're still learning about the community and the
Welcome.
lake.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, and we enjoy it here. We really do.
It's a great place. I've been here 22 years.
Yes. Well,
Not as long as some of you, but I love it here.
We're on Pawnee, so we take the dam, you know, going back in and out.
Okay.
Regarding the dam, are they going to improve the safety as you're driving on there? Those barriers are falling down? Okay.
No, we just had a conversation.
Okay.
We don't know what the
I'm
answer
sure,
is.
I
was
didn't know
taking,
if
yeah, I was
you already
taking
been
home.
discussed.
The
Yes.
rope and the little plastic,
Yes.
yeah. How will that prevent your daughter from going off the side of the road?
No, it won't.
There's no safety
but-
there.
Right. I didn't
That's
know
your
if they were
question, right?
going with the road.
There's no plans to address that.
Okay.
And again, I don't know that we've ever had anybody driven off of it on either side.
In all the
so-
years, no.
You were on the board a long time before I was.
When it happens, I'll remind you that.
They're just falling over. I just thought aesthetically it might look better if they were.
Oh, you
fixed
talking about
or-
straightening them up?
Yeah.
We could go out. The maintenance guys could go out and straighten up some of those posts. They're, especially after they mowed the backside, they've been a few of them. Lift it up, go over it, don't go through it. Anyway.
That was a great mower.
That was a good mower.
Thank you to the Booster Club. Where Nancy go? There you go.
Tom,
Yes.
I just have a general, I guess, request, and that would be that in the last email, they indicated that they might not have a meeting at this time of year, and I would encourage you not to take that approach.
Well,
Even if we have this many people here, it's worth it. The recordings are worth it, and you have the ability to, if it needs to shift a week or whatever, but there's a lot of ways to get around and work around rather than just say, we're thinking we might not have this meeting next time.
I respect that.
Yes.
You guys also have to respect how much time the board members put into the association. And I know, Don, you've been on the board and you said that's what we signed up for. And I take that with a little bit of pain because I didn't sign up to take some of the abuse that gets dumped on the board, and we shouldn't have to take that. Now, this has been a very, very respectful meeting, and I thank you all for that.
Thank you.
All great questions, and I appreciate it, and maybe you've made my attitude towards this meeting change a little bit. We'll talk about it as a board. It's not a decision that I can make alone.
I would just say as a member, I'm sitting on this side.
Sure.
These 4 a day, I mean, I don't feel like I need to be a part of monthly meetings. I know there was always a push for being a part of board meetings. I don't need that. We trust the board. But I would tell you that these quarterly meetings are important to us.
Okay.
Especially the
let me
LIB.
ask you a question. Do you feel like you missed anything not doing the dog and pony PowerPoint show?
We don't need that, no. It would be nice if you've got a financial report if somebody wants to explain it. But we used to do handouts, and you could go through it with the handouts.
Did you hear that, Joe?
Honestly.
So,
We don't really.
Well, you know what? And that makes this meeting a lot easier because
then we know we could do that next July meeting just like this, because this was so much easier for us.
And this is
So
more,
much easier.
I've been more relaxed atmosphere, and quite honestly, I've gotten more out of this meeting than I have any of the last meetings in the last few years.
You know, and the other comment, you know, maybe we have it out on the patio and have beer on a Friday evening.
I second that motion.
And you know, and I'm okay with that, Nancy.
You better have a sergeant at arms.
Yeah, they might throw bottles
Say
too.
this is especially good for your new members, because if you wait 6 months or twice a year, you've got new people here, I'm new, I don't know how many other people are, but if we have to wait 6 months to meet you guys, it makes it more difficult.
Okay.
Valid points.
All valid points. I
Well
like
taken.
this format. I feel a lot better about it than I did yesterday.
So Tom,
You know, maybe we move. This is a horrible week. It's right after the 4th of July. Everybody's got a whole lot of family.
Back a little.
Yeah, we'll look at the calendar and see if we can figure out a better date.
So, Tom, I know I sent the email, and I guess I was passionate about cutting out a communication
Yep.
with it.
I respect
so
that.
I apologize.
No,
for
don't
the way
apologize.
that maybe it was. I personally apologize to
Don't apologize.
Gary about it, but I am.
No need.
I know we all, you know, when I said we all signed up for it, what I meant was we knew a year in advance when these meetings were going to be, and then to not be able to show up because, and I understand some people board members can't be at every meeting, but there should always be enough of a quorum of board members at it because those dates have been there for a whole year. So when you start setting yours, unless there's a death in the family or something then there shouldn't be a reason we don't have it because we don't have people to be there.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of ways we can adjust with this, with videos being posted, with changing it by a week or whatever. I think everybody be okay with, if it changed a week or whatever. I would just cling hard to have it continuing every quarterly meeting.
Okay.
John, I
Point
think
taken.
When you exhaust everything.
not doing the dog and pony shows is gonna
Help a lot.
significantly help.
This was fun for me today, actually, and I was worried if I was on board. It turned out to be actually fun.
I mean,
feel like it's
I'll come and
communication.
watch the videos afterward. As long as we keep the videos up and we can get the information from the videos, great. because I didn't do anything with the with the handouts before,
Yeah.
so it didn't really matter.
Well, and quite honestly, even if we hadn't had this meeting scheduled, we'd have done something right now because we've got such significant issues going on. We would have had a meeting to talk about the roads because people have questions that deserve to be answered. And more importantly, the lake sucks and we're all concerned about that.
Well, this is one of the three legs of the stool, the important leg, of the stool, which is the roads, security, and the lake.
Yep.
And there should always be information about where we're at with those three legs, which are the most important things that we need to talk about every time.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Lakes are getting shut down all over Missouri. There was something in the news today about Washington's lake.
Yeah.
Closed.
And they've had
It was
they've had
Lions
four
Lake
lakes that
Private
had
Park,
I'm
where
sorry.
they do the,
Fish kill.
Yeah.
the fair.
Fish kills too. Four lakes have
Gary.
had fish kills sooner in the year than they've ever seen before. They've
Not
never
as
seen
fair.
fish kills as quickly as they're seeing them right now, and it's due to the rain, water, temperature.
The other thing about Washington Lake, comparing it to our
Yeah.
lake here, that lake in Washington is only 11 acres.
Yeah, 11 to 12 acres. yeah.
So it's a very, very small lake,
It's
so,
like by the fairgrounds.
and we're 326,
Yeah.
so that would be the only.
But it's still, we're seeing the state seeing the issue everywhere.
Yes.
Very wet year, washes nutrients in the lake. Very hot weather, causing the algae to grow. So,
To go along with what you said, it is much smaller. I live in Washington, but this is the worst we've had in a long time.
Oh, I agree with that.
And but did you see the photos of all the? I mean, it looked like you could have walked across all the fish. As far as the meeting, I appreciate it. This is my first one in attendance, and just get to ask questions, hear the questions, and the other thing I think it's beneficial from you guys can't answer some of the questions, and also to help take the load off. Like, I'll be honest, you and I haven't always agreed on stuff on Facebook, but let us take some of the facts out there for you. Because we may not agree personally on something, but we can agree on the facts.
And we can discuss it.
Yeah.
well, again, I'm not going to answer a Facebook question. Email me the question, you'll get the answer.
No, I'm saying we'll help you with it when it's on Facebook.
Jackie?
This has been great. This is the way the meetings used to be. Yeah, we could ask, it didn't have to be all that stuff up on the board and everybody saying this and this, and you go through that whole thing, and by the time you leave, what the heck did they talk about? This is communication. This
I
is
love
what
Jackie.
the community-
You didn't say that last meeting.
Really and truthfully, we live out here. Yes, we have a lot of weekenders, but we live out here and we're the ones that are going to help, or we're going to.
We're all in this
be into
together.
stuff.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you. Good time to end it.
All right.
Just one thing, and it's more of a suggestion. Would it be worth moving the camera out so you can see part of the people that are here, and just instead of just looking at the screen or at you while you're not speaking, you're standing there? You know what I mean? I don't know if it'll give it a better perspective.
I'm not a communication expert. I can't answer that.
Huh?
We have a hard enough time doing this. If anybody has better video casting skills or has a 13-year-old daughter that can do a TikTok, feel free. Yes, ma'am.
On that line, I would just suggest a microphone for the speaker and for the people who ask the questions.
We've tried that, and it slows everything down, and people are nervous to have a microphone put in front of them. I think I'm loud enough. I've been told I'm loud enough. People don't have
I
trouble.
could hear you, but I couldn't necessarily hear everyone.
The microphones just slows things down and frightens people from making the comments. We tried one time to have everybody come up and take the microphone to ask a question, and it didn't work, in my opinion.
As long as you repeat the questions.
Yeah.
That's a big key.
All right.
Thank you for your work. We love it.
Thank you for your support.
Meeting adjourned, right?
Meeting adjourned.
Did you see Joe's comment?
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you said that because I went to bed thinking.
Al, I noticed your coffee cup. This is my lake house one, but I got one exactly like yours. And I should put it up in the meetings all the time.
There's an era of perfection.
Next time I'll go here, Al, cheers.
We're not a board meeting.
Yes.
Where I gotta talk to, you know, all right.
And I was prepared to send this in. I got paid a lot of money.
Right. There's not enough money in it.
Yesterday.
I didn't want to bring this out. I was going to bring this out because the procedure was perfect. But my question is that, you know, I questioned
Oh, that was, I didn't,
signs available in our community.
We don't have any, but you could certainly bring it up. Bob Wixon would be the one to talk to because he's on the security committee or care committee.
Well, I don't know if we had an appointment.
We don't have any signs. We have to order. But you know, as the roads get
600 is becoming unbelievable.
in front of your house, and the problem is when I go past your house towards mine, that fucking corner is blind. People are in the middle of the goddamn road.
I've stood there watching too many times. It's like, we gotta do something about this fucking speed. You can't slow down.
We're talking about speed bumps.